Hi guys, today we will have a realistic comparison between these three weapons so you can decide whether it will really be worth it going for vivid notion. Let's start from clearing and deciding the style of using these weapons. I use a 10% rating crit damage from up here to balance the stats. This is the total damage difference so far. Since my crit damage didn't go over 200% for loss player, I think with a better build it can also go up to 400k. Now let's try it out with team buffs. Just to let you know, that personal damage included in the calculations earlier comes from Varesa's elemental skill, heart attack when she moves into the air, and a small ground impact damage when she punches in maximum state. These damage sources only become significant with buffs, and since it has a very small AoE, it's not very reliable when you're dealing with multiple enemies. もっと早く、もっと強く。これは必要な武力だ。はっ、ヒーロー見参。危ない。不足、新鮮。よく見とけ。これは必要な武力だ。 Here are my character builds, weapons, and constellations for your reference. Here's a table summarizing the damage calculation from the showcase. Since the boss's HP quickly depleted within just 2 plunges, we unfortunately couldn't see the mini-burst damage, though it usually hits as hard as the second plunge, so we can assume that it is at least 200k for all weapons. Unlike the solo run earlier, it seems like elemental damage buff boosted Varesa's damage better than attack and Widsith. Damage better than my Varesa using loss prayer, I think you can easily reach the same level as your sedative Widsith on this one. Ooh, that's interesting. It's surprising how close Arya Widsith's numbers are to the overall damage of Vivid Notions. So to say, equipping R1 Vivid Notions on Varesa will only be a small damage upgrade if you already have R5 Widsith. Still, if your Widsith has lower refinement like R3 or below, it will always be the better option. The only other clear advantage her signature weapon has over R5 Widsith is that it is more comfortable to use. Cause, let's be honest, Widsith is kinda ass if you actually compare the duration of its effect to the cooldown. For exactly 10 seconds after switching to Varesa, you may be able to deal a huge amount of damage thanks to the generous buffs provided by this weapon. But since the effect can only occur once every 30 seconds, you have to wait 20 seconds before switching to Varesa again so you can regain the weapon's effect. Let's say you can expend another 10 seconds for the next team rotation. Even with that, you'll still need to spend 10 seconds with a 50 to 100k damage loss per plunge. On top of that, you'll have to time it well when you switch back to Varesa. Or else, too bad, only weapon buff for you this rotation. You can actually resolve the switching problem with skill, except if you have a skill issue like me. So as long as you can settle with the buff RNG between Aria, Recitative, and Interlude, then it's not really necessary for you to go all the way and pull for Varesa's signature weapon. Just try not to land an EM buff too often, cause it's the worst buff Varesa could receive unless you're playing her with Dendro. Also, even though I mentioned that Vivid Notions isn't a necessity, that doesn't mean it's not worth pulling. If you look back on the damage chart, the total plunge damage offered by R1 Vivid Notions are significantly higher than other weapons. Since Varesa's AoE and main damage comes from plunge attacks, Vivid Notions remain the best weapon she could use. Here's the overall ranking of the featured weapons. As for why there's a tie for the second place, R1 Lost Prayer is competitive with R5 Widsith since it provides a more consistent weapon effect and damage throughout the rotation is. Try imagining that within the 10 seconds Widsith buff cooldown where you suffer from a big damage nerf, Lost Prayer can compensate for its recitative level damage by hitting steady numbers while enabling quick switches. So yeah, that's about it. Thank you for watching and I hope this video managed to answer some of your questions.